Has the Torah been done away with, or are we still accountable to it? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 2 of special readings pertaining to Shavu'ot. Let's pick up where we left off yesterday and go back again to the book of Yochanan, or John, chapter number 1, and let's look at verse number 17. Now, I'm going to read this for the first time from a King James Bible that my wife gave me before we were even married in 1980. So verse 17 says from the King James, "For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ." The word "but" there, and I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll try to hold it up for you. But the word "but" right here is in italics, which means it's not in the original text. How about that? From the Scriptures translation, "For the Torah was given through Moshe. The favor and the truth came through Yeshua Messiah." Which translation is correct? Well, if we look at chapter 1, verse 17, and from that suggests that favor and truth are only quote-unquote New Testament commodities, we are having to do away with then all legitimacy of that which was written before. The word says in the book of Bereshit or Genesis that Noah found grace or favor in the eyes of Yah. How did he get that if it didn't show up until Messiah brought it to us? It was already there. Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they all enjoyed the favor of Yah. It was obvious that these men were favored of him and walked in it. What about truth? Did truth exist before Yeshua came to bring it to us? Well, obviously it did. David wrote throughout all of the Psalms, often speaking about his desire to know the truth, to walk in the truth. Matter of fact, if you want to write these down, you can look at Psalms 25, verse 5, chapter 26, verse 3, and chapter 43, verse 3. But let's go over to the book of Psalms, chapter 119, and look at two verses. Let's look at 119, 142. "Your righteousness is righteousness forever, and your Torah is truth." Torah is truth. If we look at verse number 151, "You are near, O Yahweh, and all your commands synonymous with Torah, all your commands are truth." What then does Yochanan or John chapter 1 verse 17 say? Well, let's go back and let's look at that again. The Torah was given through Moshe. True. The favor and the truth came through Yeshua and the Messiah. Did favor and truth only show up when Yeshua showed up? No. Yeshua is actually involved in quote-unquote the Old Testament, the Tanakh, the Torah. There he is giving also the Torah as truth and favor to those who served him there. David knew the Torah to be truth. Yeshua is also the Torah, and he is the truth. Just another perspective. Obviously, then, there was a translational perspective included in the King James here that is anti-Torah, as if to say that truth and favor only showed up along with, in their translation, Jesus Christ. And that is that Moshe did not know truth and did not know favor. Any reading of those texts of the Torah would show that truth and favor were there. Now, if you go to Mark chapter number 7 and verses 1 through 23, Yeshua enters into a strong debate with the scribes and Pharisees over the issue of washing hands. Now, there is a continuing to this day a rabbinical tradition of before you eat a meal, you go and you use a certain procedure where you wash one hand and then you wash the other. And before you eat, you go through a ceremonial cleansing of the hands. This is not to remove dirt from the hands per se. It is a ceremonial observance whereby they cleanse themselves and they quote a particular blessing before they eat their food. The followers of Yeshua were going through the fields and eating grain as they were permitted to do so from the Torah. They couldn't take it home with them. But while they walked through, they could take grain, rub it together, and eat the kernels of it. But they had not washed their hands. The argument was, your followers, your disciples, your Talmudim, Rabbi, they are not following the tradition of the elders. To which Yeshua said, the traditions of your elders have made the word of Elohim of no effect. It has been accused that Yeshua was disallowing the Torah, liberating those who followed him from keeping the commands of the Torah. That's not what's being said. He is saying to follow through the traditions of the elders, where those traditions stand in contrast or in conflict with the Torah, causes the Torah to be of no or little value to them. Yeshua is not arguing against the Torah, but the traditions of men. Read it carefully. Let's continue. If you go back to the Torah and you look at the book of Exodus, Shemot, chapter 31 and verse 16, you will find that Shabbat, the seventh day observance, is an everlasting observance. If you go to chapter number 40 and you look at verse 15, you will find that the priesthood of the Levites, the Levitical order of priests, is an everlasting order. They're to never be done away with. If you go to Vayikra, to Leviticus, chapter number 16 and verse 34, you will find that the Yom Kippur observance and procedures, that ceremony is forever. If Shabbat, the Levitical priesthood, if Yom Kippur or Yom Kippur is everlasting, to do away with the Torah and call it to no longer be necessary or to be observed is to do away with things that Yah says is forever. Either they are forever or they're not. If these things in the Torah are forever, then you can't do away with the Torah that includes them. Let's go to Acts chapter number 10. Much has been said about the legitimizing of doing away with kosher or dietary laws based on Acts number 10. In the 10th chapter, Peter is on a roof. He is praying. He sees a vision. He sees a sheet let down from the heavens, and there are all manner of beasts and unclean animals included. And he hears the command, arise, kill, and eat, to which he objects. No, master, I have never eaten anything that is unclean. This vision is repeated. He is left wondering, what does the vision mean? He has little, seemingly no understanding about this. However, men are at the door to take him to the house of Cornelius, a man that would be considered unclean in his estimation, a man's home to which he should not enter. So he begins to define to these men as he arrives, as he's been commanded to actually go with them. He says to them that he now knows that he is to call no man unclean. The vision is not about food, it's about men. You can't do away with the dietary laws based on Acts chapter 10. To do so is not to be legitimate in your study. We're going to talk more about the dietary laws tomorrow when we continue this. And until then, shalom.